All right, so we're just going to start working on the hips. So we're going to work on two separate movements with the hips. The first one is hip flexion, which is this movement. And the second one is hip extension, which is this movement. So yeah, flexion and extension. But before we get into that, we're just going to start off with our hip cars. So just grab something to use as a pillow or rest your head on, and then you're going to lie down on your side. Okay, cool. All right, guys, so we're just going to do our hip cars from this side lying position. So just reach your hands out in front, interlock your fingers, just so you can create a little bit of tension, irradiation. Now from here, just lift that top leg up. Now we're going to come into hip flexion, so we're going to bring our knee up towards our chest as far as we can. Once we've maxed that out, we're going to go into abduction, so lift our knee up as high as we can. Now from here, we're going to internally rotate, keep our knee high, and then extend. Good, and we'll keep going in this direction for 2 more reps. Wake these hips up. And on these ones, guys, we're trying to keep the movement to the hip only. So try not to move your pelvis or your spine. Okay, last rep in this direction. So even if that circle is a little smaller, I'd prefer that than compensating with other joints. All right, guys, now from here, back in the start position, 3 reps the other way. So kick back. Once you got as much extension as you can, lift the knee up, reach your knee towards the armpit, externally rotate the hip, and back across the chest. 2 more this direction. Make these reps as smooth as possible. Good work, guys. Last rep on this one. Cool. Once you've finished that rep, we're just going to switch to the other side. So yep, reach the hands out, interlock the fingers. 3 reps each way. So just hover that top leg up. Come into hip flexion, bring the knee up. Lift out to the side. Internally rotate. That's normally the hard part. Just try your best. Nice, guys. 2 more this direction. So we're going through our biggest range of motion as we can with our hip. Good. Fight for that internal rotation. Keep that knee high. Nice, guys. Back the other way. Extend. Lift up. Keep that knee up. Reach for the armpit. Good, 2 more this way. Create that tension in the rest of your body. Squeeze your hands together. Squeeze your stomach muscles. Try to make it smooth. And okay, we're done on those hip cars. All right, now we are going to move on to the couch stretch. So this has been in your homeworks, so you should know how to do it. All you need is like a soft surface, like a pad, and then a vertical surface, so either a wall or a couch or a bed, whatever. All right, so just get that padding up next to the wall. Actually, one more thing, guys, you might want to hold onto your yoga block or grab a stick or something, just for a little extra support. Okay, so we will start with the left leg first. So I want you to get your knee as close as you can to the wall. Then you're going to bring your other foot into a lunge. Now for most people, myself included, this is enough of a stretch as it is right here. So I'm just going to stay down like this. If you're more flexible, more mobile, you could come up. And that's when you could use like your stick for support. All right, guys, so we're going to go for 2 minutes here. Then we're going to go for our PAILs and RAILs. But for now, try to just relax as much as possible. Make sure we're not going too deep where it's too intense. We want it to be a good stretch, but a position we can relax in. So James, I'm not sure if it's possible for you with your bed, but if you could get your knee closer to the bed, that would be better. So like the goal is to have your shin vertical. So that's looking better. Nice job.
Yeah, I think that page box hasn't got a snare cushioning, so just give me a sec.
Okay, no problem. And guys, you can play around with the angle. You know, you can shift your hips one way or the other. You might feel a better stretch in those directions. Remember, stretching is always a skill, and it's about finding those tight lines of tissue. Yeah. Yeah.
But like say that you use the wall, you're getting that stretch. But obviously like in this couch stretch, like your elbows for your hips and your hamstrings. If your ankle is getting that kind of attention.
Sorry, you're kind of cutting in and out. Yeah, I think you mentioned your ankle. Try to get your knee as close to whatever you're using as possible. So if that's the couch or the wall, if you can get your knee right up against it. But yeah, if that's uncomfortable on the ankle, then you'll obviously have to modify so that it's not painful. Yeah, sorry I couldn't hear you properly.
It's like a wall, it's like a flush, whereas like on a couch, like a little bit.
Uh-huh. So maybe on the couch you'll just have to like be more upright and like squeeze your butt more. To really feel it? Yeah. Cool. All right, so let's do our PAILs and RAILs. So our PAILs, I want you to engage your hip flexors and your quads. And what you're gonna do is kick the wall with your foot or kick the couch with your foot and drive your knee into the floor at the same time, the back knee. All right, guys, so 20% effort. So everything that's stretching, we're now engaging. 40%, 60%, 80%, 3, 2, 1. Now the rails, we're gonna squeeze our glute and we're gonna try to squeeze our hamstring as if we could pull our foot away from the wall or away from the couch. At the same time, we're driving our knee into the wall or into the couch. And back to a passive stretch. I definitely need to do this one more often myself. Okay guys, come out of this one. And we're gonna switch to the other side. All right guys, same on this side. Gonna do 2 minutes and then PAILs and RAILs. Actually, we ended up doing 3 minutes on the other side, so we might as well do 3 minutes on this side. If you can handle it. If you need to come out early, that's totally fine. Most people are definitely tight through the quads and hip flexors because we spend so much time sitting and that everything just shortens up. So we're halfway through the passive stretch. We got 90 seconds, then we're gonna do our PAILs and RAILs. "45 seconds left, passive guys. So ideally one day, guys, it'd be awesome if you could have your shin flat on the wall, your butt touching your heel, and your shoulders on the wall. That's sort of like something to aim for. All right, so let's do our PAILs and RAILs. So PAILs, again, we're kicking the wall with our foot. We're driving our knee into the ground as if we could drag it forward. So engage that hip flexor quad. 60% effort. 80% effort. 3, 2, 1. Squeeze the glute, squeeze the hamstring. Do your best, guys. Get some engagement. 3, 2, 1, back to passive. "20 seconds. All right, guys, come out of this one. All right, so next we're gonna work on our hip extension, but without so much knee flexion. So what I want you to do is come into basically a lunge. Now from here, I want your back leg straight behind you. Then I want you to try to tuck your tailbone. So like, imagine if you're wearing a belt buckle, you're trying to like tuck and point your belt buckle up, if that makes sense. Now from there, squeeze your glute on the back leg, and now we're gonna shift forward with that pelvic tilt. So this should feel more in the hip flexor than the quads. The last stretch with the knee being more bent was probably more quads for most people. So now we're gonna do more hip flexor. We'll skip the PAILs and RAILs for this one, just a 2-minute passive hold. But if you did want to do PAILs and RAILs in the future, the PAILs would be trying to drag your knee forward, so like engaging the hip flexor, and then the RAILs would be squeezing your butt even more, trying to drive your knee back. So yeah. Try to relax. I know you have to be somewhat active in this position, but be as relaxed as you can outside of that. 30 seconds to go. All right, guys, switch sides, same stretch. So, yep, have that back leg straight behind the knee. Tuck that tailbone under, and then push the hips forwards. So yeah, if I don't kind of tuck my tailbone, I can go a lot further, which is also a good stretch. It's just kind of different. Whereas if I really tuck the tailbone, I already feel a stretch like just going this far. So yeah, just for today, we're gonna do this with the tailbone tucked. Really hit those hip flexors. Yeah, and once again, guys, you can play around with like the position of your hips. If I lean over this way slightly, I actually feel a really nice stretch on the outside as well. So just kind of find what's tight on your body. check in, make sure you're squeezing that glute on the back leg. Ten seconds left, guys. Okay guys, come out of that. So now we've worked on our flexibility in terms of our hip extension. Now we're going to work on adding a bit of strength and control. So let me just rearrange. All right guys, so what you're gonna do is extend one leg out behind you, and then with your other leg, you're gonna be in this, what's called a collapsed quadruped position. So you're resting on your knee, tuck the toes under, make it a bit easier. Now what this leg is doing is it's kind of blocking our spine. So normally when we want to extend our hip, often the lower back does a lot of the work. So rather than actually extending the hip, we end up just kind of arching our lower back. Now if we come to this collapsed quadruped, this is going to stop our spine from being able to extend. Now with this back leg, extend it out, and what we're going to do is some lift offs. So I want you to keep your leg straight. Then you're going to squeeze your glute, lift off the floor, and then lower back down. So we're working our end range hip extension. All right, guys, let's go for 10 reps here. Okay, and lift, and gently back down. And up, and down. So make it so that you can barely lift your foot. So for example, if I was here, that would be too easy. So I'm leaning back more. All right, up again. And down. And up. Down. Up. Down. 4 more. Down. And up. Down, last 2, make it a bit harder if you can, up, down, last rep, lift, and down. All right guys, come to the other side, same position. This is my worst side, so I might have to make it a little easier. All right. So yeah, straighten that leg out. Now squeeze the butt, lift, and set back down. Lift, down, and 3, down, and 4, down, and 5, down, 6, down, 7, down, 8, down, last 2, 9, down, and 10. Good job, guys. Okay, we're going to switch back to the first side. But this time we're going to do what's called an end range rotation. So rather than just lifting up and down, I want you to lift, and you're actually going to make a small circle with your heel. So what we're going to do is 5 circles each direction. And for this one, actually, let's point the foot. Okay, guys, so leg straight, point the foot, squeeze the butt, lift, and let's go one direction for 5. All right, guys, change directions, 5. Good job. All right, switch sides. So this is a little bit more difficult, adding more control into this movement. All right, guys, squeeze the butt, point the foot. 5 small circles one way. And change directions. Okay, come out. Oh, good stuff, guys. So that might show you actually how much actual hip extension you have. So if I was to, say, lie on my stomach and lift my legs up, looks like I have loads of hip extension, but that's actually more coming from my back. So when I block the spine, you can see my hip is nowhere, doesn't look as extended, but that is actually what my hip is doing. Cool, guys. Okay. We're going to move now on to some hip flexion stuff. So hip flexion is moving in this direction. So you can do this with your knee bent or with your knee straight. We're going to do both. So we're going to start with the knee straight. So we're going to stand up. I'm going to use my bench that I have here. But you don't need a bench. You can use, again, the couch. You can use your bed. You can use table, sofa. Just something to place your foot on. And I also want you to grab your PVC or broomstick, whichever you have available. Again, just sort of for balance. Cool. Just wait for Isabella. All right, guys, now all we're going to do is let's start with the left again. Left foot up onto the object. Now from here, if you want to add more stretch, you need to tilt from the pelvis. So if I round my back like this isn't actually impacting my hamstring. It has to come from the pelvic tilt. So yeah, keep your spine long, fold forward from the pelvis, and we're going to hold this 2 minutes. So in this one, guys, there's a couple options. You can point your foot, you can flex your foot, and you can even bend the knee, or a combination. You can also try different angles, so you can turn more out to the side, or turn more in this way. So those are all different options. That's going to change where you feel it. So basically find where it feels the best stretch for you. So I'm just going to keep my leg straight and fold forward here. Definitely need to stretch my hamstrings more. Okay guys, 1 more minute passive. Now for PAILs and RAILs here. PAILs, we're gonna drive our heel into the object, whatever it's resting on. So we're engaging the hamstrings, even maybe the glutes a little bit. Then the rails, we're gonna try to lift, so engage like the hip flexor, quad, and try to lift. All right, 30 more seconds passive. Okay guys, 20% effort, drive that heel down, feel the hamstring working, come to 40%, 60%, 80%, 3, 2, 1. Now try to lift. You might not lift, just engage the quad, hip flexor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back to passive, and relax. All right guys, come on out of that one. Just take a quick break, shake out the legs if you need to, and we're gonna switch sides. So I definitely have more range on this side. That's normal, but we do want to try to close the gap between sides if we can. Okay, 45 seconds to go. On this one, guys, we definitely want to aim for 90 degrees or more. So if you imagine this was my body, we'd want like a 90-degree angle between my body and the leg with the spine neutral. So again, I can round my back and it looks like I'm more flexible, but that's just my back. That's not my hamstrings. So I've got a ways to go on this one for sure. I've definitely found my hamstrings tighten up since I played more rugby recently. Need to work on it. All right, guys, PAILs and RAILs. So again, drive that heel down, 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, as long as there's no pain. 3, 2, 1, squeeze the quad, hip flexor, try to lift. 3, 2, 1, back to passive. All right, guys, come out of that one. One more passive hip flexion stretch. Then we're gonna do a little bit more strength and control work with some passive range holds. And then that will be it for today. So what we're gonna do is go into a position called easy pigeon. So I'll just turn my mat. Okay, come to your hands and knees. Now from here, extend one leg back. Then you're gonna bring your ankle across like this. And then you're gonna shift all your weight back. And then you can come down to the forearms. So yeah, looks like this. So we're in hip flexion. We're also in a bit of external rotation. And guys, I want you to feel it in the back or the side, somewhere over here. You don't want to feel any pinching in the front. So if you do feel pinching, let me know, and I'll try to readjust you so you don't feel it. Okay guys, we'll just do 2 minutes each side here. No pails and rails, just a passive stretch. So again, we're in hip flexion here, but with the leg now bent. And also externally rotated. One more minute. This is a really nice pose to just relax in. Just melt into it. You can even rest your head on the ground if it's comfortable. All right, guys, we're gonna switch sides. So again, back to hands and knees. Extend that other leg back. Bring your ankle across and then shift your weight back. 2 minutes this side. So we need hip flexion for squatting. A deep squat is really deep hip flexion. We also need it for deadlifting. That would be more with the leg a bit straighter, hip flexing. And then for the extension, we need that when we're doing our deadlifts as well, but more our Olympic lifts, so our snatches, our cleans. We need to violently extend the hips. And it's also very important for running. We have to extend our hips every stride when we run. So more mobility there. is going to make us feel a lot lighter and freer when we're running. 15 seconds left here. All right, come out. Last thing for the day, it's also the hardest thing. We are going to do some passive range holds for hip flexion, but it's also going to involve extending our knee. So you just need something to hang on to, just for balance. All right, so what we're going to do is bottom leg stays straight. You're going to grab your knee, pull as high as you can. Cool. Now, I want you to let go, hold it as high as possible. Now, I want you to extend your leg, again, keeping your knee as high as you can until it's all the way straight, and then slowly lower down. Nice job. Okay, we're going to do 5 reps, so 4 more. Okay. Again, keep that bottom leg straight. Lift the knee up. Let go. And extend. So you can see how this is adding strength and control to that end range of our hip flexion. Nice. 3 more. And let go. And extend. Squeeze, make a fist with your other hand. Create that irradiation. Nice, 2 more. And engage. Let go. Extend. Really fight for it. Try not to lean back as well. Last rep. And you can tell the bottom leg's working hard too. Let go. And extend. Nice work, nice work. All right, other side, then we're done. I'm just gonna pivot over here. All right, lift that knee up. Squeeze, let go. Extend. And slowly down. Nice. 4 more. Keep that bottom leg as straight as you can. Engage, let go, extend. Nice work. 3 more. Try not to let the knee drop, let go. Keep that knee as high as you can. Hip flexor is working super hard. 2 more. Squeeze your butt on your bottom leg too. Let go. And last rep, guys. Make it your best one. Let go. And extend. And down. Okay, well done, well done. And we're just gonna, if you want to hang around, just lie down, relax. So yeah, just lie down on your back. Close your eyes. Let's do 3 deep breaths together. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. And hold. And exhale. One more. Inhale. Hold. And exhale. All right, just breathe naturally now. And feel the effect that this mobility session has had on your body. Maybe it feels good. Maybe you feel more relaxed. Maybe you feel stronger, grateful, or maybe you feel sore. That's okay too. Maybe you feel frustrated. That's also okay. Just remember it's going to take time. As long as we avoid pain, our body is going to continue to make progress. All right, thank you very much.